Hello, Paz. It's Deomania, and this will be our second lecture. Before I start, I will review what we treated last time, which is about HTML document structure. That is when you want to start building your web page. The step by step you need to take. Last time we brought out the tags, talked about elements, head document, declaration, so on and so forth. And in case if you might have forgotten, I'll review it. This is the document type declaration, which we said declares the version of HTML being used. After that, the HTML marks the beginning of your document, which is HTML. Now, typing the HTML in this editor will bring out the full structure required for you to write your web page. Now we have the head here, and the title displays on the title bar. The title displays on the title bar, and excluding the title, there are other information which can be included here for search engine, but you don't need to know that now. When we get there, you will know. Now all the visible contents will fall in between the body, the start and the end of the body, as you can see there. That is what we are going to write now. To be here. But before that, let's give a title to this information. Let me say the title. Let me use Deomania as the title. Deomania represents the website we are building. Then we'll give a heading. A heading, as I said, H1 to H6 represent the heading. If you want to give a heading in your documents, you can make it of H1, H2 to H6. But H1 and H2 marks the importance. It shows the important heading you are using. Now let's go to the body. Let's say our H1 is the heading to what we are going to write. H1. As you can see, there's H1 there. Now let's say the H1 will be let's use coding for beginners. Coding. Okay. Coding for beginners. That's our coding. Second lecture on coding. Section lecture on coding. Let's use it. Second lecture. Coding for beginners, and then the paragraph will be our second lecture. That's good. Coding for beginners. It shows that we are still on the Now remember, everything you are writing here, everything you are writing here will be displayed when you edit, when you preview the web page. It will be displayed there because the information falls in between the body, falls in the body. Now the P marks the paragraph. P marks the paragraph. P. It marks paragraph. Now, a little information on what I'm doing so far is that, as I said, the H1, which is heading 1 element, defines the most important heading. Both the H1 and H2 defines the most important heading we want to include into a page. while the P tag element defines a paragraph. That's what I just said now. Apart from that, we're going to do a simple task by adding a HTML title, which we have already done, with a text there, which is Deomania as the title, adding a heading, which we already done with h1 tag to the body, and adding a text coding for beginners as I've done before closing the tag. And now the paragraph which I'm into, you can say this is our first lecture, our second lecture on coding. Let's say this is our second lecture on coding, our second lecture on coding. This is the second lecture on coding. First lecture on coding. First lecture on coding. Good. As you can see there, when you preview this information now, it will display on your web page showing that you have started writing your document. Those web pages you see, those web masters you see, those portal you encounter when you're surfing the net or when you're browsing, they just don't appear there. You can design yours for yourself. You can easily create it. If you follow steps by step, you can easily create one. Now we are going to save this as this is our second lecture. We're going to save it and then preview it. After that, in our next lecture, we'll now continue from here. But I believe you all grabbed what I said in this editor I'm using. Now let's see how to save. Remember that this information is under HTML. So if you are saving, you can use Ctrl+Shift+S, or you can go to File and use Save As, because you don't know whether you're saving it in HTML or not. So use Save As first of all. Save As. Now you check where are you saving it. I'm saving mine in a desktop. I'm saving mine in my desktop. And as you can see, it's already under HTML document. The save as type is HTML. In case if yours is not HTML, you can select it as HTML. And then file name, my file name, let me say second lecture. Let me say my file name is second lecture or first lecture, whatever you can use to save it under HTML. Let me use it as my second lecture. Now save. Good. Now let's go and preview what we saved now. Let's preview what we saved now. Look, as you can see, it's over there, it's here now, lecture 2. And once you display it, it will show you what you wrote, the code, the web. It will show you in the browser, either Firefox, Google Chrome, or whatever browser you are using. As you can see, this is our first, this coding for beginners, the title. This is the first lecture on coding. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So in our next step now, you'll see more information. And thank you as we ride on. God bless you. I remain Dave. That is our second lecture, and we are done with the document structure, the heading and the paragraph. So our next episode now will be on a TED lecture. So make sure you are with us and you should subscribe for more. And I believe at the end of the day, you will make good use of this information, this lecture, to achieve something in your life. Thank you. Bye bye.